Hello, welcome to a Paper Flourish craft video. My name is Julie and today I'm going to make a journal page and I'm going to I'm going to use the beautiful Brocante Antiques Stamperia Collection rice paper, and I'm going to use that as the inspiration for my journal page. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a lovely collection, gorgeous colours in it. I've already gone ahead and this is the 8-inch journal, the Dilutions one, and I've already sealed the pages with Stamperia Primer, just given it a light paint with the primer and dried it. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work out where I'm going to place this beautiful rice paper. Just put my journal to the side for a moment. I'm just going to get a fine brush with some water on it, that'll do. And I'm just going to start tearing this apart a little bit. I think I might tear this side here pretty much straight off and use that along the side of one of the pages. Just by wetting it there, you get a nice rough edge, and I find that rough edge, that torn edge, blends really well into the paper. And I'm going to maybe tear it through here. And then have a play and work out where this is going on the page. I think I'm going to add the rice paper sort of like that to the page. I've used most of the rice paper. I did go along and I tore this edge because it was a straight edge on the side. And because it's going on the page, I have torn it. Now this is the Stamperia rice paper glue. So what I'm going to do is just place a layer of this along under where the rice paper is going to go. I've chosen to go with the rice paper glue because I want the finish of the rice paper ends up still feeling like rice paper. And I thought that would be nice with this collection. Let's go there. I like the old sewing machine. So I'm going to go ahead and place all of the pieces down on the page. Once the piece is down, just a layer of rice paper glue just to really seal it down, dry it completely, and then I'll show you how they've ended up. The piece, because this is going in the middle here, make sure when you pop the rice paper down, you really crease that into the middle, and that way it shouldn't tear and it should work still okay with the page. Right, a layer of rice paper glue on top, and then I'll attach this piece as well. That's all dry now. I have trimmed the edges. There wasn't much rice paper to trim off, just a bit up the top and bottom here. I just did that with my scissors today. I've decided I want to stay with this. See how the finish is still, it feels like rice paper. So I'm going to try and keep that same sort of feel to the page. So I've decided to use the Lavinia chalk paints to do the background, and I've got 3 colours here: Spruce, Vanilla Custard and French Blush. I thought they might go nicely with this collection. My favourite way of playing with chalk paints is with my fingers. You could use a sponge at this point if you prefer. I just like something about chalk paints. And so I'm going to pick up a little bit of the pink, and all I'm going to do is rub it into the page, and I want to go into the rice paper a little bit as well. I'm not going to go too heavy with the coverage, and I'm just going to do different patches of all 3 colours. If I want to tone down, if I feel like that's a little bit bright, easy way to bring it back is grab a little bit of that vanilla custard, just lightly, and maybe blend that into it as well. So I'm going to have a play with all 3 colours and see what happens. So by adding that vanilla custard, it just brings the pink back, makes it almost a little bit cloudy as well, which is quite pretty. Maybe try a bit of the green. They're pretty strong colours, but I'm just going to sort of do patches of both and grab that vanilla custard to tone it back a little bit. All right, let me have a play and I'll show you how it ends up. Right, I thought I'll show you it at this point. I've actually gone mainly with the pink and green at the moment, and it does look like a bit of a mess. So let's try this vanilla custard. and see what happens. So now just the vanilla custard. Again, I'm just going to create that nice cloudy effect, go into the rice paper as well. Again, you could do this with a sponge if you don't want to get all messy with the fingers. So that's bringing the colour back. And I'm going to go more into the rice paper as well with that vanilla custard. Just create that nice light cloudy effect. So hopefully this is going to start to sort of bring it all back together. I've finished playing with those colours now. I use quite a bit of the vanilla custard. Not that I use much of the paint. These go a long way, these chalk paints. And I've also used it right around the edges, coming into the rice paper. So I was giving it that really nice sort of cloudy look around the edge. It's dulled down the pink and the green. I am going to change that colour again shortly, but before I do that, I'm going to do a bit of stamping, and I'm going to go with the black Archival ink. I'm using the Ranger one. Stamperia have brought out a Archival black and also brown ink, which is awesome. So they're in stock now at the shop, but I'm going to use this one today. I haven't bought those new ones yet. And I'm going to use a script stamp. Now the one I've had, and I doubt that this would be in stock at the shop. This is one of the Create Happiness Oh La La collection, but I just wanted a fine script stamp, something like that. So just any script stamp that you have in your stash, and because there's a lot of that sort of fine writing through the rice paper. So I'm just going to ink that up, and I'm just going to stamp it sort of coming in. And this is another way too that'll kind of disguise the rice paper edges. And then you can add a little bit into the coloured areas as well. It just helps to blend it all in. I'm doing some of them darker, some lighter. I added a lot of that script stamp, and it's really added so much to the page. It's kind of helped to blend the blank areas, the painted areas into the rice paper. So I've done it even along here. Some are darker, some are lighter, and it's broken up that painted area, which is good. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do, this is an antique collection, Brocante Antiques. So I'm going to go in with Aqua Colour, the Stamperia Aqua Colour, the leather spray. And I'm going to, I don't want to go too heavy, but I want to add some of this to the page. You can see I've got some big sheets of scrap paper down, just to, something like that, just to, those scrap paper just helps to control the spray. It tends to like to spread everywhere. I'm going to pick myself up a paper towel, and I'm going to dab away at this page and bring it back to where I want. Now that adding that Aqua Colour leather spray is going to help those painted areas blend in as well with the rice paper areas. So how now it starts to belong. So I say in the classes, trust the process. Bit by bit, these pages come together. All right, so once you're happy with it, I'm going to go ahead now and dry that completely. This little tub of gorgeousness is Stamperia Glamour paste in the ancient pink colour. Isn't that lovely? And I think that colour works very nicely with this collection. I'm going to use the Lavinia Ornate stencil, and I'm just going to pop some patches of stenciling onto the page. Just spreading it like butter. Little patches like that. See, that colour works so well with the colours in this collection. That Glamour paste doesn't take long to dry, which is great. I've got the Stamperia Milk White paint. This is their acrylic paint, and I'm going to mix that just on the side here with some water to add the splats. I like using the milk white a lot. The titanium white is super duper white, whereas this is like just not quite as bright. Now I'm just going to take the first little splats off on the side and add this. This will lighten it up. the Ranger Archival ink. Again, I'm going with the black. You could use a brown if you wanted to. And I'm going around. These little tiny blenders are brilliant for this. So I'm darkening the page edges. I'll do that the whole way around. Now, I thought to add some decoration to the page. Paper Rose make these beautiful sets of embossed die cuts. This is the Botanical Memories one. And there's these lovely bird cages in here, and they're in the green tones. There's heaps and heaps of different bird cages and images. They're just beautiful, the embossed die cuts, and I thought this mirror's kind of nice too. I went with the bird cages because, number one, to me, it picks up the sort of the wires in the mannequins, and also there's a little bird down here in the rice paper. So I think we can make those work. Now I'm going to try something just with one of the die cuts. I have no idea if this is going to work, so if need be, I'll use one of the backup ones. Leather spray, because they're quite stark white at the moment. I'm just going to add a little bit of that leather spray, dab it back and dry it. And it just takes the starkness. I think that will work. And then if I put that on the page, that looks so much better. So I'll go ahead and do that with all of the die cuts. I think they look really cool now. Black Archival ink, and you could use the brown. I'm just going to ink the edges with my tiny blender. So now they look like they belong on the page. What I love about these die cuts, the embossed area, even with that leather spray, you can see it's still picking up the embossing, so the light will catch that as well. I'm going to use Stamperia craft glue to stick these onto the page. The sentiments I've chosen have come from the 5 Crazy Ladies Small Talk stickers. It's the set 2, and not only they've got all the beautiful purples and blues as well, purples and pinks, but they also have these green and pink sentiments, so you can choose whichever sentiments you like for your pages. I like this one. No beauty shines brighter than that of a good heart. There is beauty in simplicity, and again, those colours just work with this page. So I think that's it. I think my page is done. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll be back again soon with more videos. Thank you. Bye.